All right, what is up, guys and girls? Hope y'all are doing well. Always stuttering in the beginning, but I've been working on a new build. You know, as I said in the past, I don't know if anyone or if I said it actually on one of my YouTube videos, but I am doing every class blind. I'm like not looking at ascendancies, not pre-planning, not doing anything. I'm just going as I go. And I've already died once on this build. I died to Blackjaw. I got slammed. But we are playing the Ranger class. And we've ascended to become a Pathfinder. And what we're doing with Pathfinder that I've seen, because I looked at all the Ascendancy points. And some of them look pretty good. Some of them look okay. And then some of them look pretty awful. Like this one may be good, but I don't really understand how flasks, like how good, like there's just nothing that makes flasks good. You just scale more mana regen or more life regen. There's no amplifiers on the flasks. Maybe in the future there will be a bit more choices. Maybe they'll actually implement some sort of utility flask. Maybe, or maybe make it so that charms can have effects like armor while charm is active, or maybe evasion, speed, damage reduction, you know, conversion, maybe potentially. Maybe that would be a bit too OP, obviously, with all the charm scaling, but I looked at all these Ascendancy nodes. Brew Concoction. This one's interesting, but it's kind of disappointing with it being only leading to one. Same thing here. Like, why do these lead to one? I think every pathway should always lead to two. Two large notables, not small, right? So I thought about this and like, how could they potentially make this even better? Like the Brew Concoction, they could add 2 more points, you know, do the same thing, increase mana charges for the small one, but the second one would be you can have a concoction that is trielemental, right? You can create mixed concoctions, which would be sick, right? So by combine, you could choose. I don't know how you could choose and how they would do this, but if they did it, it would be a really cool mechanic. But for your second ascendancy, your level 38 or Cruel Lab, I guess, you could combine lightning and cold and fire, and then create a trielemental concoction. And then same thing with poison and bleeding. I think that would be really cool because I've always wanted to do like bleeding and poison builds in Path of Exile 1, but they're kind of hard to scale because you need generic scaling for both. You can't just be like, oh, I want to scale poison and then scale some of bleed. It's just hard. Maybe in the future, if they implement Crimson Dance, maybe if they implement it, I don't know if there's a plan to implement it where you can have 8 stacks of bleed. It would be really cool though. But I think there's a reason why they never implemented it, because it's very strong. But yeah. So my first 2 ascendancy points, or first 4 I suppose, went for the most, or like poison spread. And then second of all, I'm doubling my poisons. This build is actually really weak. I don't know if I'm just playing wrong and didn't really look at all the gems, but it's alright in the beginning. Like it doesn't compare to Lightning Arrow. Lightning Arrow is much stronger in the beginning. Even with all these damage nodes I took in the beginning, Lightning Arrow would probably destroy compared to Poison Burst Arrow. But anyways, so that's my Cruel Lab. This is my passive points. I traveled from here, grabbed Honed Instincts, went here, rushed this first Poison node, just so I can, oh wait, no. Hold on, did I rush this first? Yeah, I rushed this so I can maim and just have a bit more damage, but it really doesn't matter what you get early on, because poison scales quite horribly, you know, because there's no generic damage. But I went straight through here, either choosing Crippling Toxins or going for Stacking Toxins. Stacking Toxins is probably slightly better. But yeah, just went movement speed, then I get prod damage. I went for some prod here, damage, some armor, path through here, and then going straight into armor, some more armor and regen there. I plan on pathing a bit into strength, And depending on how much accuracy I need, and if I'm not able to get like a good hit baseline, I will maybe grab RT, but I probably don't need to. I have huge damage nodes here for the penalty reduction of reduced attack speed, but that's okay because we get 54% increased magnitude of ailments you inflict, which applies to poison, thankfully, and there's a duration tag on here. So these 4 nodes are very powerful. I might eventually go into armor break because there's a gem that is here. Supported skills consume enemy fully broken armor to deal 50% more damage. I don't know how this works specifically. I don't know if it like, so if you have a 12-second window of damage, you consume it, and then you have to restack the armor. If it's like that, I probably won't be going into armor break, but I might play around with armor break and see. But yeah, my Merc Lab is probably the movement penalty reduction while moving, or like while using skills, sorry. And then for Uber Lab, I'm not too sure with how things are and how fast I'll be moving. Chilled ground, temporal chains, all the slowing debuffs. I think there's mud. There's quite a lot of movement penalty reductions, but I might not grab this, but I actually go for 6 passive points. That might be actually really powerful. But yeah, this is my current tray. I highly recommend leveling lightning and then transitioning once you get to gas arrow. Once you get gas arrow, transition back into poison. Or just go and, you know, pain through the poison route like I did. But yeah, it doesn't compare at all. Anyways, my items, nothing crazy. Preferably you want attack speed, high percent fizz. You can also use a chaos spell to get to apply withering with a support gem, withering touch, or withered touch I believe it's called, which would be placed into rain of arrows. But I don't want to use that base type because it's not that strong. It scales quite poorly. My items are pretty generic. Life, armor. I plan on eventually going pure armor gloves, hybrid helmet, hybrid gloves, hybrid chest, hybrid boots, and this quiver just needs percent damage, projectile skills, and added fizz. Those are the only mods. Projectiles or quivers in this game are a bit disappointing, kind of, but we'll see. But yeah, that's my gear. Nothing crazy. My resistances are 62, 71, and 58, and 22. My armor is at 2000, and my evasion is at 1.3. There's obviously some more nodes I can grab here. These nodes are very powerful. You get 40% increased armor if you haven't been hit, and 40% evasion if you haven't, or if you've been hit recently. It's actually really, this node is very powerful. I think for 4 points, very powerful. Then eventually I'd like to path all the way down here and grab the attribute stuff, because I will eventually need despair on this build because I'm scaling poison. And it's quite a lot of int requirement. It's about 72 int, which is about 10 levels. No, it's 12 levels worth of int stacking. Obviously I can get myself an amulet, some int on gear, but we'll see. But the plan is to definitely head into here. But yeah, and also grab these nodes. Evasion per armor, this will be very good. And 8% of evasion gain as extra armor. My guess how much armor I could get with this character would probably be around 5,000 to 8,000 armor and about 4,000 evasion by the time I have all these things selected. And with the amount of HP I'll have on this character, assuming I have high rolls and good stuff, I'm looking at around level 90, probably around 2.5 to 3k HP, roughly. Some of you might ask, why didn't I go energy shield? Because I don't want to rely on evasion, rolling the dice, you know, and then being hit and being one shot, you know. Armor is a bit more safer, I would say. Like if you're taking a lot of hits with evasion, Energy shield is really good in this game. The nodes are very powerful, but like I said, I just don't want to be dealing with that risk until you have really good gear. Energy shield stacking is just not worth it. But yeah, I think I talked. Oh yeah, gems. I talked about most things now. I'm currently using Vine Arrow linked to Magnified Effect, so AoE and Bursting Plague. This is just like an this is not poison, but this is a debuff called Plague, I believe. Not sure how this works. Skills also add 200% of damage per second as Plague, so there's no debuff marker, I don't think. Oh no, there is. There is a debuff, but it's... I wish it told you how much percent you were at. Like, oh, it's 1% of the enemy's HP, or 10% you're capped now, you know? Yeah, this debuff, you can't really tell what's going on with it. I think it shows, but I can't really... I don't remember. I don't know if it's Vine Arrow with the vines debuff slowing them. I'm not too sure. But anyways, Poison Burst Arrow, linked to Pierce and Corrosion to break armor. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to maybe go into armor break stuff. We'll see how that plays out. And yeah, Gas Arrow linked to Comorbidity. Jesus. Concentrated effect because it scales the Poison Cloud. So typically in PoE 1, this typically, well, I guess the skill kind of functions like Caustic Arrow, kind of, but you're poisoning. It's really weird. The game's mechanics is slightly odd. And then I have Momentum, which is after moving 2 meters during the skill gains 40% more damage. So I'm dealing a decent amount of damage. My damage isn't anything crazy, so I'm not going to run through a field and show you guys some damage. I'm sure it'll get better as I get later into endgame. Barrage with link to Premeditation and Ingenuity. This is just for single target, which helps a bit, not really. Actually, if anything, it doesn't really do much. Barrage would be better on Lightning Arrow. But anyways, Rain of Arrows linked to Brutality, because we're just scaling the hits and attack speed. Plague Bearer linked to Wind Wave. And Wind Dancer linked to Herbalism, because this already creates a Wind Wave. Gale Force. A Gale Force, when you get hit, it knocks enemies back and stuns them. Or maybe it doesn't stun them, it just knocks them back. But it's this. This is kind of like the same thing, but this is if you get stunned. But yeah, the plan in the future would be to get Despair with increased duration and, you know, Curse. Like Curse Ground, I believe, so the curse doesn't disappear, but we'll see. But anyways, that's pretty much the build. So far, pretty good, pretty tanky. Damage is alright, but we'll see how it feels in maps, as long as this character doesn't die. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys and girls. Have a Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve. And if I don't upload anything before New Year's, have a Happy New Year's too. And happy holidays, I suppose. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day, have a good night, and take care, and bye-bye. Ciao.